top of the morning to you.
Yes, it is St. Patrick's Day, one of my all-time favorite holidays. I am so happy to be wearing green today.
Actually, I'm thinking, this outfit would pass for a leprechaun outfit now I'm thinking about it. I'm missing is like a vest, some fancy shoes. But yeah, I'm wearing, I'm pretty sure leprechauns wear like navy blue pants. Sometimes, actually the jury's out what pants they wear, but definitely the top is green. And yeah, you've seen me wear this flannel shirt like hundreds of times by now, but it feels appropriate that I'm wearing it today. And come to think of it, yesterday's episode of Hot Ones was very appropriate in preparation for today. Actually, let me put my feet up here real fast. There we go. Okay. So, before I begin, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. And what was mine? Well, actually, I went to bed. I didn't really get much sleep last night, so I maybe got like 5 hours of sleep. Or actually, a little more than 5 hours of sleep. But the point is, I didn't really get much sleep. But my high is, come on, guys. We had Niall Horan on Hot Ones yesterday, and today is St. Patrick's Day. I'm feeling great right now. And I did see my folks, too. But, I always see them. And my act of kindness was, Oh, right, I ran an errand for my grandma yesterday. So, no big deal. So, I guess there's nothing left to do but talk about yesterday's episode of Hot Ones. There's a couple other things. So, good morning, happy Friday, happy St. Patrick's Day, and I have to say, Niall Horan has really made himself that much more popular within the last several months. Ever since he left One Direction, it's very clear that he's made a name for himself. And with the fact that he's now coaching on The Voice, which I'm going to be getting into momentarily, and the fact he's on Hot Ones, he just made his Hot Ones debut. It's going to be a long time before anyone like him, for whatever reason, gets out of relevance. So, and he's also promoting a new album coming out soon with easily his favorite song on the album. So I got some phlegm, sorry. I guess I am kind of fighting something too, maybe. But, let's see. So he has a new single out in promotion for his new album called Heaven. And one of the questions Sean asked him was, after a long, because this is the first album that he's done in 3 years. So, how do you go about choosing a lead single after being on hiatus for so long? And he said it brilliant, and I never thought of it like that. Thought of what he said like this before. But he says, your lead single, or the concept of your lead single, should sum up what you're going to hear in the album. And that's why he picked the song Heaven, because to him, that song should best sum up what you're going to be hearing as you're listening to the album. And I had to think long, because what he said makes perfect sense. Especially when, in my case, I grew up with both the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And literally two of their biggest points, they each had one, was for NSYNC, it was when No Strings Attached came out. And for the Backstreet Boys, it was Millennium. because obviously it was a new millennium at that time. And both lead singles on both of their albums are not only great, but they summed up exactly what we hear. Like for NSYNC, it was Bye Bye Bye. And I know a lot of Backstreet Boy fans out there are expecting me to say I Want That Way, but if you've ever gotten Millennium, because we had Millennium, I think my folks still have it, I Want That Way is not the lead single on that album. Larger Than Life is. And Larger Than Life is an awesome song, man. It is. Holy cow. Okay. Let's see. Actually, speaking of songs, he talked about what makes an effective bridge. See, a bridge is like the chorus of a song, right? So, let's go back to I Want It That Way. The bridge would be, tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Like that one, right? And if you listen to I Want It That Way, the first verse, you are my fire. Like, both the verse and the bridge are vastly different. Like, it's sort of like a tension and release type thing, is what Niall described it as. That's really cool. I like that. You know what? I knew there was going to be at least one question involving the voice, and the question was navigating through rejection when it comes to, people not wanting to pick you or not wanting to hear your music. And for Niall, it's come full circle. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Niall was on a similar reality show, which was a singing contest, and he won, but he saw a lot of people, and even himself sometimes, get rejected. And now he's the one in the proverbial hot seat, quite literally, because, chair turn, whatever, on The Voice. So, he's now the one in control. He's the one who gets to decide, okay, what does this voice mean? Like, why does this voice sound good to me? Why doesn't this voice sound good to me? And he has to pick from there. Again, full circle. This is actually something I didn't know, that Niall's actually a golf fan. In fact, when he was little, he stayed up super late to watch the Masters from Ireland, because he's from Ireland. Again, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's perfect. And he talked about his crowning golf achievement. And he did, the Riviera in the Genesis Open. And he played with a professional golfer, Justin Rose. And on the back, and keep in mind, what I'm about to tell you, Niall has never been able to do since. And these are his words. He got 5 birdies on the back 9. And again, he hasn't done that since. And they wound up winning the whole thing. And he has a go-to, swing thought. It's all about tempo. You got to ease back into it, and then just go for it. I guess sort of a tension release thing? I don't know, it's good, because I'm trying to write these notes down because I'm listening, because, I have content to do, right? And, okay, here's how naive that I am, personally. I had no idea what the 19th hole is. For those of you who are too young to know what the 19th hole is, that's basically going to the bar after you complete a round of 18 holes of golf. And Niall's 19th hole tradition is having 6 pints of Guinness. Yeah, my man. A lot of Guinness is going to be drunk today, I can assure you of that. It's been a long time since I've had Guinness myself. Although, full disclosure, I was listening to Bill Burr on the Something's Burning podcast, because Bill Burr was a guest on there, and he mentioned how, like, if you drink Guinness here in America, you go to Ireland and you drink Guinness there, and then you come back to America, Guinness here is going to taste horrible. Like, he had to work, it took him a long time to work back up to having, Guinness here in America. Crazy, right? I mean, it's Guinness. It is the beer of Ireland. It is the thing that I just said is going to be the most consumed thing on this one day of the year. And rightfully so. He talked about the most Scottish thing about Louis Capaldi, which is, he also talked a little bit about himself, because the most Scottish thing about Louis Capaldi and the most Irish thing about Niall, because they're both good friends, is when they talk, no one understands them. With Niall, on the other hand, though, he himself has even said he's been trying to be better about being understandable when you hear him speak. Louis Capaldi doesn't care if you can understand him or not. And that's what makes him very Scottish. I didn't know that. Let's see. The most thrilling memory about playing soccer, because he's also a soccer fan, which is, he actually got passes from Ron Aldino and Cafu. Okay, and I'm not really much of a soccer guy, so I have no idea who they are. But, I mean, it's very clear that they're famous soccer players. And you receive a soccer pass from them, that's gotta be really cool. That'd be the equivalent of, like, say, getting a basketball pass from LeBron James and, Anthony Davis, I guess. Something like that. So that'd be pretty cool. This was because sometimes First We Feast puts 1 minute shorts about what we're gonna be seeing, and here's where the short began. It's since Niall grew up in Ireland, what's his musical influence? And it's that Celtic influence in storytelling. And here's where the short really began, because if you were to go into a bar and were given an acoustic guitar, what song wins the room over to wherever you are? Okay, admittedly that last part wasn't in there, but I wanted to make it rhyme. And he said you can't go wrong with the Fields of Athenry. Yeah. And we also learned some Irish slang in that wing too. It says, go on, or go away with that. Get out of here or something like that. I think that's what it means. When we got to the bottom, they talked about the fallout of what Liam Payne, his band member from One Direction, did to his car, where he totally trashed his car, but he didn't blur out the license plate. So everyone's following Niall around wherever he goes, because everyone knows what his car looks like. He talked about playing in the giant open amphitheaters, specifically Red Rocks. And, okay, listen. Because I have been to Red Rocks before. And I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I loved it. Red Rocks was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Amphitheater or otherwise. My problem with it, though, is my reason for being there at that time was a horrible reason. A reason, quite frankly, here's the thing. Were it not for this, I'm not going to Red Rocks at all, I suppose. But this very thing ruined Red Rocks for me, if that makes sense. Maybe someday I'll go back to Red Rocks on my own terms and So that's actually a goal of mine. Someday I gotta go back to Red Rocks. Not for like a concert, just to go. Because when I went to Red Rocks, there was like a whole lot of people like everywhere, just walking around, taking pictures, seeing the view, having fun, exploring the history of it, stuff like that. And someday I hope to go back on my terms and enjoy it for what it is. Who knows? I just mentioned on my State of My Being address that, I am looking for somebody special. Maybe I'll be with them. Who knows? And we get to the final wing, and so actually, Niall talks about Red Rocks being his favorite amphitheater. If you've never been to Red Rocks, it really is one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. For me personally, it was ruined due to the situation and circumstances why I was there. But chances are it may not happen to you. And remember how I mentioned that Heaven is the lead single on Niall's new album? So let me paint context for you. Back when Liam Payne was on Hot Ones, back in 2017, one of the Hot Ones editors, Mari, was pregnant. And when Liam talked about that he would like to have, quote unquote, a cheeky beer with Niall, something just... And so Mari named her son Niall. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's beyond cool, actually. That's great. But here's the thing. Now that child is around 4.5 years old. Actually, the episode was pre-recorded, so wouldn't be surprised if the kid's already 5 years old. Or close to 5 years old. So, Mari asked Niall via, FaceTime, screen time, whatever. He asked, because here's the thing. What Makes You Beautiful is the baby Niall's, favorite song. So, Niall, the musician, was asked, is there any song of yours that is different, that's not What Makes You Beautiful, for a mom and her son to hear in her car over and over and over again? Listen, I know the pain. I have nephews. They love listening to a lot of songs. Seriously, for whatever reason, they love hearing Happy Birthday. Not that they hate Happy Birthday, just, actually not just Happy Birthday, but this one's on me. It's thanks to me they love the song I Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. Thank you, Lion King. Anyway, so Niall recommended Heaven as a new song for Mari and her son Niall to listen to. This episode went full circle. It legit went full circle. And quite frankly, I cannot think of a more appropriate episode for this time of year. I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day today, guys. I just mentioned how it's one of my all-time favorite holidays, and I'm sure you guys probably want some context. I mean, I can't just like something for no reason. I should explain why. Well, there's a few reasons. For one, green was the first color that I ever thought of as my favorite color. I mean, you see like a crayon box of 4 crayons, what you usually see red, yellow, blue, and green. So the fact that green is in there makes it special in that regard. But of those 4 colors, green's the only one where it takes both yellow and blue to put together. And it complements so well with red. Think of Christmas colors. Or having enchiladas with green and red sauce. Stuff like that. So, that's already cool. As I've gotten older, I have grown more appreciative of my Irish heritage. I mean, I know that my mother is 50%, which would make me, bare minimum, I'm 25% Irish. The rest of, because there's some Irish on my father's side too. There's also some Scottish, Welsh, English, German, French. And we got a lot, actually. Honestly, the weird thing is, like, it's weird. Like, my grandmother would have, like, giant dinners where she would legit make, in honor of my friend, Sunday sauce. And my grandma's convinced that there has to be some Italian in us, too. Which, I wouldn't mind being Irish and Italian. The more I think about it, I think Italian food might be my favorite kind of food. I love pasta. I love, Italian flavors. Maybe. Ooh. Nah, I shouldn't say this. I mean, yeah, be very clear that Irish is like more of what I am as opposed to everything else. But maybe I should marry an Italian girl. That'd be kind of cool. Hey, maybe. I don't know. At this point, I'm just spitballing. Look, again, honestly, I'm just goofing off right now because I feel unhappy. And I have a right to be happy because it's St. Patrick's Day. It's one of my favorite holidays. I get to wear green. It celebrates the Irish. And when you think about it, we're not in spring yet, calendar-wise. As spring is officially, I believe, on the 20th? Or the 9th. I think it's the 20th. So within the next few days, spring will officially start. But we are all but there, guys. Like, I always say if we make it to March, we have a chance. Because spring really is right around the corner. And we are all but there. Honestly, yesterday was 55 degrees out. And keep in mind, on Monday and Tuesday, we had like that massive snowstorm. Just a few days ago. Or a few days prior. And yesterday was 55 degrees. Right now it's actually raining outside, which I'm all for the rain. It's too warm. That means it's too warm for it to snow. That's what the rain means at this time of year. It's too warm outside for snow to freeze and form. Or form and freeze, whatever. The point is, it's warm outside right now. So when I tell you that we are all but there for spring, I'm not kidding around. So, technically I've been doing this the last couple of years. Especially when not only have I said what I'm about to say on St. Patrick's Day, but I have said it at other very somber and more appropriate times. But for today, I'm not going to end my video the way I normally do. Don't misunderstand me. I am still very humble in this video for all of you guys who watch Endure today, and I am still hopeful that we all have a wonderful, wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Which reminds me, yes, today is Friday. Yes, today is St. Patrick's Day. A day for partying and a lot of alcohol consumption. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against that. If you want to celebrate by drinking a lot today, by all means, go right ahead. But please, please, please be smart about this, guys. Okay? Yes, it's Friday. The weekend is right around the corner. In fact, I'm pretty sure some people are going to be drinking the entire weekend. But be smart about it, please. And if you're really unsure if you're going to do that, ask yourself this. What's more appealing? Being able to wear green every year on St. Patrick's Day, or giving your friends and loved ones a not very good excuse to be wearing black? Nick, that didn't sound very nice. That was the point. That was the idea. It's supposed to scare you into making sure you behave today. So yes, again, I hope you have a wonderful day today. But also remember to make good choices. That's why I say make good, for days especially like today, that's why I say make good choices. Because you never know. There you go. Okay, so that wasn't the way I was going to end the video, by the way. The real way I was going to end the video is with a traditional Irish blessing. One I have said many times doing these videos. And hopefully I can get through this without having a tear form in my eye. Because if you've been watching me long enough, you know the other reason why I would ever say this. With that said, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be ever at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall softly on your fields. And until we meet again, may the Lord hold you in the palm of his hand. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.